Welcome back to Living Pacific Northwest, guys. Today we're going to be playing with fire. So I think I'm going to cut this up into a few different videos. First off, we're going to do best firewood or fire starters, small compact somethings that you can take hiking with you. And then we're going to move to flint, matches, and actual fire starters, sparkers, lighters, what have you. And I might do individual product reviews. I'm not really sure, but I have a lot of stuff here. All right, guys, so I'm going to do a quick rundown and show you what I have real quick before we get started. I got all of this stuff here from Walmart, except for these were from Big Five. Walmart was out of their Flint for some reason. But we got 25 stormproof matches. They're supposed to be windproof, waterproof, what have you. So we're going to test that out. I got a magnesium fire starter right here, and I got a Flint's fire starter. They're pretty much the same thing. I don't know why I got two of them. And then we got a plastic match holder with 25 matches. I don't know if these are waterproof or not, but they're Coleman. And I just wanted this packet, honestly. It was like a few bucks. I got this small brick of Duraflame fire starter. This is probably meant for camping and not really hiking, but I'm going to see if I can't break it off into some chunks, maybe crumble it up, and see how well it does. What I'm really excited to test out is this wet fire. As you can see in the picture right there, hopefully, it's in water on fire. I haven't really read anything about it, but I'm going to light it on fire and throw it in some water and see what happens. Then we got some Insta fire starter. This stuff feels really nice. Feels like sawdust. It feels like sawdust, and apparently it was on Shark Tank. But this apparently floats on water. Where does it say? It says burns on snow and even floats on and burns on water. So we'll see how that works. All right, guys. So to be fair, I'm going to use a basic lighter. I don't want to use flint or the matches just because they might burn differently. This, I know I have a steady flame and I know exactly what it's going to do. All right, guys. So I got my metal right here so it doesn't burn my table. And I got some water in a cup right here and a fire extinguisher off to the side. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. Oh, that's a solid brick of everything. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm just going to break off a few chunks of this. Pretty much just making a nice little pile right here. I'm going to see how well this burns by itself. There it is. I moved the camera real quick just so you guys can get closer. But as you can see, that I lit that little part right there, and it's still just burning that little part. Add a little bit more to it. But it doesn't get very hot at all. So, I don't know. It burns slow, which is good. It smells nice when it burns too. But it burns slow, but it's easy to put out. Like, I'm sure I can put this out by gently blowing on it. Yeah. That was way, way too easy to put out. So this stuff, it burns for a very long time, but it's not very hot, and it doesn't stay lit very easily. Like you saw, I moved it a little bit and put it out. And then I blew on it and put it out very fast. So what I would probably do is cut this in quarters and take a little chunk with me and just keep it just in case as a backup in one of those old film cases. Kind of like what the matches came in. Just keep some in there as a backup. But I wouldn't use this as a primary. It burns too weak, if that makes sense. All right, next up, we're going to try the wet fire by the, I think it's UTS or UST or something like that. All-weather tinder. Let's pick this box open. It's kind of weird. It comes in a string like that. Said there should be 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. They gypped me. All right. So we're gonna do this on a. Oh, it's crumply. See if we can't just light this little piece right here. That lit really, really easily. And that's a really bright flame too. Let's see if I can blow it out. without blowing it off. Yeah, that blew up pretty fast. There we go. All right, so we're gonna let that burn and see how long that little chunk burns. While that's burning, we're going to open this up and hopefully not drop it or catch it on fire. And as you can see, the flame just went out. And it looks kind of wet, like there's an oil or something. I'm not sure. Now we're going to light this on fire. Oop. Barely touched it. And then we're gonna get this. I'm gonna stick it in the water and see what happens. Well, it didn't stay lit. Apparently, oh, is it gonna catch on fire now? Oh, all right. So apparently this says it floats. So yes, it floats, but if it's submerged in water, obviously it goes out. But interesting. I'm gonna light this one over here. I like how easily it lights. It lights really easily, which is nice, but it says it can hold up in windy weather, so that's pretty decent. All right, it holds up in windy weather. Let's try the one in the water. Nope, just blew that one out. And that's a nice big flame. I don't know if you guys can appreciate that from that small of a cube. That's crazy. And I'm guessing in rain, let me try this real quick. Ooh, without burning myself. Ooh, it doesn't like getting wet. That flame went down really fast. It's still there, but it went down really fast. It's getting back up there, but I think getting it wet kind of messed it up. Let me see if I can blow it out. Oh yeah, super easy. So getting it wet, probably not the best idea. So overall, I like how easy it is to light, and I like that it is somewhat windproof when you get a big flame like now. But it is not waterproof. And fire really isn't waterproof. But it won't, I don't know, it's kind of weird because this one over here is still floating on water and on fire. It doesn't soak through or what have you. Still doing good. Not very windproof though. All right, next up is the Instafire fire starter. This stuff I have high hopes for. It feels really nice through the bag. Let's open this up. Let's peek inside. All right, so let's light this real quick. It doesn't light as fast as the wet fires. So far it looks pretty good though. It lights decently fast. The flame gets pretty big pretty fast. Let me move the camera back. It's got a good high flame. It doesn't look like it's burning up the material very fast at all. Let me blow on it and see how well it does. It killed the fire a little bit, but the fire's still going, which is important. If it was your last match and you just used it, oh, wait, I think it just went out. I wasn't even talking. Weird. Let me try to light this again. Interesting. So it seems when it gets, it'll burn like it is now, and then it'll get dark and yellow. It's usually a white. But once it gets dark and yellow on top, it starts to go out like it's showing. But if you stir it up, see if my idea is correct. If you stir it up, yeah, the fire gets bigger because you're moving around the surface, I'm guessing. So you get more white whatever element that is. Interesting. They say it burns on snow and on water. Got a decent amount on there. Let's go ahead and light it. There we go. It's sizzling a little bit. You can probably hear that. It's starting to shoot things. Oh, that's getting scary. I don't know if you can see that, but it's starting to shoot things off the fire. Move my camera back a little bit. But as you can see, it starts off really strong, and then it burns down pretty fast. But it does float on water. It's not waterproof, obviously. But let's stir this up and see if I can't get it going again. Doesn't seem like it wants to catch fire again, but it's sizzling and it's popping. But it generates a big fireball when you have, that's probably not even a quarter of a cup, but it's the heat I can feel all the way up to here. Probably a good foot above it. But like I said, look, it's starting to burn down already. I don't know, let me stir it up real quick. Guess that kept it going a little bit. I don't know. I want to like it. Like it lights fast, gets big flame really fast, but it goes out fast, which is the downfall. If it didn't go out as fast, I would probably like it a lot more. I'd have to say right now the winner is the wet fire tablets. These are really nice. I'd probably carry these and maybe some of this in my backpack when I go hiking. If I'm going to a place I know I won't have firewood, then I'll bring this. I think this would be a good alternative to firewood. If you're able to throw, I don't know, 4 of these in your backpack, I think it'd be very useful. I'm going to see if I can't use either this or the wet fire tablets to start a cube on fire. Alright guys, so what I did is I went ahead and put that Insta fire on this side and then that wet fire on this side. I'm gonna light both at the same time and see which one catches fire first. There goes that one. There goes that one. See the difference on how fast it took to light though? This was like I touched it, caught on fire. This one I had to sit there for a little while. But they're both getting pretty big pretty fast. Especially the Insta, or the wet fire, excuse me, this one on this side. It looks like both are starting to catch fire. I feel like this one caught fire first, but I feel like this one is doing better. I don't know. The Instafire is already starting to go out over here. As you can see, this one's still going strong. I think I'm going to pick this up and see what it looks like. Woo! Interesting. So, it looks like this is the bigger flame, at least to me. I'm not sure though. They both did a good job. Ooh, this is all soft and crumbly. Look at that. That's so weird. Same thing on this side. Okay, I'm gonna put this out real quick. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys this real quick, but it looks like the Instafire did more damage than the tablet. All right, yeah, so this is the Instafire side, and this is the tablet side, the wet fire. Honestly, it looks like the Instafire did a better job, but the wet fire was going to stay lit for much longer. As you saw, the wet fire, or excuse me, Instafire was already starting to go out on this side, but the tablet, the wet fire tablet, was still going strong. So honestly, I don't know. I would choose the wet fire tablet just because I know it's going to burn longer opposed to the Instafire. But both are good to have. Like, I wouldn't say no to one. All right, so overall, I would probably choose the wet fire tablets just because I know they're going to burn forever. The Instafire, I would choose because it looked like it had better heat than the wet fire, but it burns out way too fast. It's good for starting fires, but I don't know if I'd let my life depend on this. I'd probably put my life on this if I had to. The Duraflame fire start, it is not a good fire starter in terms of like hiking or camping. It's good for using in combination with this. Use this to start the fire, use this to keep the fire going, and then put this into a bigger fire, or let this be your fire, if that makes any sense. But that's it for today, guys. Hope you liked the video. Leave a like and a comment down below. If you want to see the fire starters, tune in about a week. And I'll be getting that video up here. And that's it, guys. Have a good night.